Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the man who would become Pope Francis, was born on December 17, 1936. His birthplace was Buenos Aires, the vibrant capital of Argentina. His parents were Italian immigrants. He grew up in a modest neighborhood called Flores. Young Jorge was one of 5 children. His upbringing instilled in him a strong work ethic and a deep sense of compassion for the less fortunate. He developed a love for learning and exploring the world around him. Jorge enjoyed spending time with his family and friends. He was known for his warm smile and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Even as a young boy, he showed a keen interest in social justice and the plight of the poor. He would often accompany his mother to distribute food and clothing to those in need. These early experiences would profoundly shape his worldview and his future ministry. From a young age, Jorge was drawn to the Catholic faith. He was an altar boy at his local parish. He loved attending Mass and learning about the lives of the saints. His faith provided him with a strong moral compass and a desire to serve others. After graduating from high school, Jorge felt a call to the priesthood. He decided to enter the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits. The Jesuits were renowned for their intellectual rigor, their commitment to social justice, and their missionary zeal. They ran a seminary in Buenos Aires. Jorge excelled in his studies, demonstrating a sharp mind and a deep thirst for knowledge. He was particularly drawn to the Jesuit emphasis on finding God in all things, a concept that would become central to his own spirituality and papacy. Jorge's journey to the priesthood was marked by both intellectual growth and spiritual formation. Jorge Mario Bergoglio's journey to becoming Pope Francis was a testament to his unwavering faith and dedication to serving God. On December 13, 1969, at the age of 33, he was ordained a priest within the Jesuit order. This marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to serving the Church and its people. He embraced the Jesuit motto, Ad Majorem Dei Gloriam, meaning for the greater glory of God, wholeheartedly. Father Bergoglio's early priesthood was marked by a deep commitment to social justice and pastoral work. He served as a professor of theology at the Jesuit seminary in San Miguel, Argentina. There, he shared his passion for theology and his insights into the gospel with a new generation of priests. His students remember him as a charismatic and engaging teacher who challenged them to think critically and to live out their faith in the service of others. Father Bergoglio also served as the rector of the seminary, where he demonstrated his leadership skills and his ability to guide and inspire others. He believed in leading by example and was known for his humility and his willingness to serve those under his care. He would often share meals with the seminarians and take a genuine interest in their lives and their vocation stories. His leadership style was characterized by a deep sense of empathy and a commitment to walking alongside those he served. In the 1970s, Argentina was plunged into a period of political turmoil and violence. The military junta targeted left-leaning priests and activists. Father Bergoglio, known for his social activism, became a target. He used his position to protect those who were being persecuted. He helped many to flee the country. He himself lived a simple life, often riding the bus and cooking his own meals. This period instilled in him a deep understanding of the plight of the marginalized and the importance of speaking truth to power. In 1992, Pope John Paul II appointed Jorge Bergoglio as the Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires. This appointment recognized his dedication to the Church and his strong leadership qualities. As bishop, he continued to live a simple life. He chose to live in a small apartment rather than the bishop's residence. He cooked his meals and rode public transportation. His humility resonated with the people of Buenos Aires, who saw in him a true shepherd who understood their struggles. Bishop Bergoglio's commitment to social justice and his unwavering support for the poor and marginalized became hallmarks of his ministry. He spoke out against poverty, inequality, and the exploitation of the vulnerable. He challenged the government and other powerful institutions to do more to address these issues. He believed that the Church had a moral obligation to be a voice for the voiceless and to work towards a more just and equitable society. In 2001, in recognition of his exemplary service to the Church, Pope John Paul II elevated Bishop Bergoglio to the College of Cardinals. Cardinal Bergoglio continued his work in Buenos Aires. He remained a vocal advocate for the poor. He also became known for his strong stance on issues such as abortion and same-sex marriage, reflecting his conservative views on matters of doctrine. However, he was also known for his pastoral approach, and his belief in accompanying people on their faith journeys. When Pope John Paul II passed away in 2005, Cardinal Bergoglio was considered a potential successor. However, the College of Cardinals ultimately elected Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, who became Pope Benedict XVI. Cardinal Bergoglio continued his work in Buenos Aires. He remained a respected figure within the Church. On March 13, 2013, the world watched with anticipation as white smoke billowed from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City. A new pope had been elected. To the surprise of many, the new pontiff was not a European cardinal but Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina. He chose the name Francis after Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor and the environment. The choice of name was deeply symbolic, signaling a break from tradition and a renewed focus on humility, simplicity, and compassion. From the very beginning of his papacy, Pope Francis captivated the world with his warmth, his humility, and his message of mercy and inclusion. He eschewed many of the trappings of the papacy. He chose to live in the modest Vatican guest house rather than the opulent apostolic palace. He continued to wear simple vestments and often carried his own luggage. He emphasized a more direct and personal approach to communication, often calling people on the phone or sending handwritten notes. Pope Francis made it clear that he wanted a church that was close to the people, particularly the poor and marginalized. He frequently visited prisons and hospitals, washing the feet of inmates and embracing the sick. He spoke out against the throwaway culture that disregards the elderly, the unborn, and those deemed less worthy. He challenged the church to be more welcoming and inclusive, famously saying, "Who am I to judge?" when asked about gay priests. One of Pope Francis's most significant contributions to the Church was his emphasis on mercy. He believed that God's love was unconditional and available to everyone, regardless of their past mistakes or their current situation. He instituted the Jubilee Year of Mercy, a special time for Catholics to receive forgiveness and reconciliation. He also streamlined the process for annulments, making it easier for divorced Catholics to remarry within the Church. Pope Francis has always emphasized the importance of interfaith dialogue and global engagement. He believes that building bridges between different faiths is essential for peace and understanding in our world. By reaching out to leaders of various religions, he fosters a spirit of mutual respect and cooperation. His efforts remind us that, despite our differences, we share a common humanity. Through his actions, Pope Francis inspires us to open our hearts and minds to others, promoting a world where everyone can live in harmony. Pope Francis has always been a beacon of humility and service. Throughout his papacy, he has consistently emphasized the importance of compassion and helping those in need. His actions, more than his words, have inspired millions around the world to follow his example. Despite facing numerous health challenges, Pope Francis has shown remarkable grace and resilience. He has never let his personal struggles deter him from his mission. Instead, he has used his experiences to connect even more deeply with those who suffer. The passing of Pope Francis was a moment of profound sorrow for people across the globe. His death marked the end of an era defined by kindness, humility, and unwavering faith. The world came together to mourn the loss of a truly extraordinary leader. Pope Francis's legacy endures in the hearts and minds of millions. His teachings on love, acceptance, and service continue to resonate. Even in his absence, his influence remains a guiding light for future generations, reminding us all of the power of humility and compassion.